welcome to a new era of Tupelo football. I'm Greg Ellis, and welcome back to another season of Gridiron Takes. And by new era of football, of course, Ty Harden, new coach, coming in from Houston after an incredible run there and taking that program to new heights. And Coach, welcome to Tupelo.
I'm excited to be here. It's been a weird but awesome transition, and I'm ready to see, get the ball rolling and actually, see some things happen.
Friday night, season opener. We've had to delay it a little bit, but it's finally here.
It is. It's special. We get to have this moment. We talked about, like before we walked in here, 2 weeks ago, people were wondering where we're going to get to have this moment.
Right.
And, now we're getting to, for our community, for our players, for our staff. We're just excited to get out there and go and play. These kids hadn't played football in 10 months. And it's been very weird for them, been weird for everybody else. But the fact that we actually get to go play the game, this great game, and see what we're about.
And I know you guys are ready to look at a different color besides the blue and gold of Tupelo.
You're exactly right. I was, there's some days we get out of practice, and I tell our coaches, I say, guys, they're ready to hit somebody else besides each other. They're ready. They're sick of seeing each other. They're ready to, for an opponent besides themselves.
Exactly.
And that's going to be good. It's going to be good. We're going far away. We're going on a long drive, and we're going against one of the probably best opponents in the state. So we got to come out, and we got to be prepared. And but I'm ready for this challenge. I hope our guys are too.
Oh, I'm sure they are. Well, we were talking about you were hired in the spring. Pandemic hits. There is no spring football. There's so much uncertainty regarding sports. We had some adversity with practice. You've had to change so much. Delay to the start of the season. We had a scrimmage, which was huge to kind of gauge where you are. And now we're going. Buckle up, and we're going into it. How have you and your staff handled these challenges, and how have the players responded?
Well, number one, I had to change who I was. Our coaches have had to change who they are. When this hit back in spring, and when I got hired and everything, I've always been a guy that's been a 10 steps ahead guy.
Right. So
I had to scale it back to 5 steps.
Then I had easy to do.
Well, then I had to go to 1 step. And now it's like we talk about it as administrative staff is we have to take it hour by hour these days because you never know. You have to learn to be flexible. Right now, I had to learn to be flexible. Our players had to learn to be flexible. Now, kids, they're resilient.
They are.
They can roll with the punches. They've been up for whatever. Anytime I've communicated with them on something, they've been there. They've always they've worked their tail off in whatever situation they've been in. They've been excited what we've had going on since June 1st. We've gone nonstop, and now they see the light at the end of the tunnel. We had one of our best practices we've had since June 1st yesterday.
Oh, that's awesome.
And feel really good about it. We're getting some of our guys back, and we'll definitely be a different football team 8 weeks down the road compared to what we are this week. But I'm just excited to get to see these guys this first round.
Of course, we're sitting this year in the weight room. It's beautiful and spacious, and I know you're looking to even expand. But how has the off-season weight program been?
Well, at first we had to be flexible, had to change, so we did everything outside because according to CDC guidelines, we wanted to make the environment as safe as it could be for our guys, and so we didn't lose anybody or anything like that. And so we did our workouts outside, kind of station to station to station. The main thing we wanted to harp on was these guys haven't lifted a weight or haven't done anything for 3 months.
Right.
If we were to go and throw them in a weight room and try to make them do this and that was not safe.
Right.
And so we came up with something where we wanted the guys to be able to, get them back moving around. Right. We wanted to make them become athletes, become flexible again, and now we're starting back later part of the summer with the real strength.
Gotcha.
But if you were to jump right into it, that was going to be a big time safety hazard, and our coaching staff worked diligently to come up with a plan. We come up with a great plan, and we've stuck by it. And now, we're starting to get back into some normalcy. The weight room's starting to be normal, and that's one thing I want to pinpoint. I'm a big weight room guy, and we're gonna get better in this room, and our kids have, I think, starting to understand that approach.
I'm a big fan of Hard Knocks on HBO, and they were basically saying the same thing. From an injury standpoint, and these guys have been away from football. They haven't had their camps. You just can't do that.
It's not. It's definitely. It's not safe. Now, some of those guys want to do that, probably, but it makes no sense to throw a kid into something like that, because we got to think about this too. It's been 10 months. We didn't get a spring. They didn't hit each other. There's a lot of things that you have to fix. Here's one thing we've had been harp on teaching is blocking and tackling.
Right.
Coach Jones, our great defensive coordinator, there's been days, man, Coach, we can't tackle a thing. I said, Coach, they ain't tackled anybody in 10 months. They didn't have that technique in the springtime. Right. And so it is, you're teaching a lot of these guys how to walk again.
Starting all over.
Starting all over, but we're gonna get there.
We are. All right, let's look at our offense. You got a great quarterback coming back, considered one of the top in the state. But it's not just Jake Ware that you got on offense. Kind of give us some of your weapons and people to kind of keep an eye on offensively.
Well, it starts up front. We returned 4 out of 5 starters. And the 5th guy is a guy that had numerous reps and had some starting reps. And so it starts with those guys. I feel really good about those guys up front. They gel really well together. And, if you're not good up front, you forget it. And, that's, they're protecting that quarterback and going to be the main, part of our run game. So I feel good, guys like Gentry Turner, Kentavious Dilworth, those are 2 main guys. It's a guard tackle that kind of our leaders up front that have, hold the anchor down. And, the guys outside of him, it's wide open. We've got a lot of athletes, and we got guys that we can put anywhere. We can put them at running back. We can put them at receiver. We can put them at tight end. We're kind of, right now there's a lot of youth in those areas. So we'll find out more game time, game-like experience, and see what they are when the lights hit them.
It does make a difference when those lights come on.
It does, but we do have some proven guys. Corbin Huggins is probably one of our leading return guys on offense. He had a lot of yards last year. We're expecting big things out of him. Jay McGinnister had a lot of rushing yards last year. Hard runner, downhill, consistent, is gonna, he's gonna do the little things right. But besides that, we're gonna be a very young 6A team.
That's good and bad.
That's good and bad. There's a lot of folks that say, hey, you start a lot of sophomores out there, you can chalk that up as losses. My thought is, if you're good enough, you're old enough.
Right.
And we've got some guys, so the future is bright for us, but we've got some young, talented guys. We've got these some names, some people out in Golden Wave Nation need to listen to. KD Gibson, he's a wide receiver, that's a sophomore. Kyson Brown, we call him KB. He's like a Swiss Army knife. He can play wide receiver, he can play tight end, he can play running back, he can play quarterback. He's a can do it all guy, a kid named Dalen Patton, a big athlete that's a tight end, wide receiver body. We got a lot of other guys. We got some seniors mixed in there too. Chase Henley, Kendrick King, a junior Alex Pounds that's very impressive. I know I'm forgetting some names right now, but I feel good about our weapons that we have, and the fact we have a football season, and the more games that we play and the more practice we get, we're just going to keep getting better.
All right, we talked about offense, defense. Coach Jones back at defensive coordinator. What can we expect from this defensive unit this year?
Well, right now we're still figuring out our identity. We got a lot of guys in spots right now that are very talented. Starts up front like it does on the offensive line. That defensive line, I think it's one of the more talented defensive lines I've coached. I've coached impressive. I've coached some NFL All-Pro guys,
Super Bowl champions.
some guys playing college football right now. But I feel really good about the actually the depth that we have up front.
Which is key early on.
It's key, and I think it starts with a guy that we've moved from outside linebacker, the defensive end, Quay Edwards. He's what you call he's somewhat of an alpha / he's somewhat of an alpha when it comes to his work. His actions speak so loudly, and he works his tail off. When we go run a gasser after practice, he's going to run at full speed, and he's going to kill himself trying to run it. He's just that type of guy, and he's got good karma when he plays because he works so hard, and it translates out there during the game. We've got so many nose guards. It's Isaiah Mallory. Let's see, L.A. Ray, he's a young guy. Ramiro Hampton, he's another nose guard. And our other defensive end, Ja'Karius Clayton. Rising junior, has got several Division I offers. So we're talented and we're very deep in the defensive line, and I feel really good about that group. And then we go to the linebacker core. We got 2 alphas on that level right there. You got your middle linebackers led by Justin Wilson. He's our leading returning tackler.
Right.
And he's the quarterback of our defense. Very cerebral guy. Definitely, he lines everybody up. He's very calm, cool, and collective, but also gets his point across. Very excited that he knows all football. High football IQ guy.
He knows other positions.
He knows other positions. He knows how to line those guys up. Right beside him, we've got a sophomore starting that we feel really good about in the future. Tyler Vaughn. Looks like a Ninja Turtle. I mean, he's rocked up. I mean, he's a good-looking son of a gun, and he's got a bright future. Working beside Justin, and then we go to our outside linebackers. And one of our biggest alphas on defense is Dalton Hughes. Dalton's big personality guy. Just as even better outside linebacker football player. Right now he's committed to play football at South Alabama. And we're excited. We're expecting him to make a lot of plays this year. And across from him is Deion Shumpert, a guy that's a junior that we feel really good about. And the secondary we're very young in the secondary, very young and inexperienced. We're going to have some growing pains back there. But I will say from June 1st, that's the most improved group that we've had, just because we've harped on that. And we've told them, say, guys, people don't think you're going to be good on the back end. And so they kind of took that to heart, and they've just took initiative. We got 3 sophomores that are going to start on the back end. One of them that started as a freshman last year, Zach Pratt. Fred Adams is a corner we feel good about. LaMarcus Hurd is another sophomore. That's the safety that had some varsity reps as a freshman last year. We have one lone senior, Colin Southward. That's one of our corners that's starting, and we've got and some of the guys that are behind them. A lot of those guys are going to have some reps. Jaden Cox, Patrick Helms, Tavon, a lot of guys. I feel good about the overall picture just because these guys are not even close to where they're going to peak, and it's going to be special when they do.
I don't want to forget our special teams either with our punter and place kicker. If you could give us a little rundown.
It starts with our punting game. We're fortunate enough, our punter is our quarterback, Jake. So, there's a threat right there. Anytime he can make a play throwing the ball, and he can punt it. So we got some special things going there, and that's what people don't understand. He can boot it. He can boot it. There's that first day we were practicing special teams this summer, and he was out there just kicking it around. I was just, I was like, Jay, you probably punt in college too. So feel good about him there. Snapping, you can't forget to snap.
You do have a new snapper this year.
Patrick Helms learned under Hayes Hammond. Hayes Hammond, best snapper probably in the nation last year, definitely in the state. And Hayes, thank you, Hayes. You did a phenomenal job, training Patrick, and Patrick's phenomenal snapper. Patrick's got an opportunity to probably snap going in college. He's that good at it. Kicking game, Tanner Goggins. Did a phenomenal job this summer. I think he's going to be better than he was last year in the kicking game. Very consistent in field goals. If you make field goals and you can put it where we want to put it on kickoff, I'm happy. And a guy also too that's one of our backup quarterbacks, Eli Gilmore. He's came in the past few weeks, and it's like his legs gotten stronger 50 times since the beginning of the summer, and he's out there booting it too. So I feel good about both of those positions.
That's outstanding. Of course, we got the show Central Friday night tomorrow at 7 o'clock. Tupelo's always known for its traveling fan base, and of course it's going to be a little different this year. So goldenwaveathletics.com, if you can. We got a new style of streaming this year. We're really excited about it. Jordan Graham's going to be heading that up, and we can't wait. Coach, before we let you go, just one, congratulations.
Thank you.
You just had your second child
We
born. And two, do you have any type of routine that you do on game week? A Thursday night or Friday or anything, or if it depends if you're home or on the road.
Yes, I do, and it's pretty crazy. I've always told this story. I'm a superstitious guy. I'm not going to lie. I'm probably wear the same underwear every Friday, but no, we have a routine every game day, and it involves my family.
Awesome.
I get up. My daughter gives me her game face. I tell her, give me my game face, and she gets her nose up and gives me her game face. She gives me a kiss. My wife gives me a kiss and tells me to go kick butt. My dog gives me a high five, and I've got socks on. You can't see them on the camera right now, but my wife writes me a letter every game and with a pair of socks. And so it's the socks always go with the theme of the game. So if it's like, I'm trying to think of the last one. It could be something. It could be like Monopoly socks. Go make some money tonight. It's something every week. It's very
creative.
Very creative. She's a special person. The definition of a coach's wife. And it starts at home. I mean, and that's the mamas of some of these boys too. And that's one of our game day rituals right there.
Awesome. It is awesome. Well, we are so ready to get to football. I mean, I was devastated last week when we found out we were going.
I shed a tear. I'm not gonna lie.
I think it'll be good for the healing process. And Coach, best of luck. It's nothing like Friday night football, and we can't wait. So join us Friday night in Neshoba Central or on live streaming at goldenwaveathletics.com, and then we'll see you back next week when we host West Point.